Testing the press conference. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, mate. Talk mate's not working the press conference. I'm just there now. Check. Testing the press conference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. Cheers, mate.
Evening, guys. Let's take a show of hands. We've got a mic going around the room. Start with Simon.
Pep, congratulations. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Jack Grealish has said after the game that it's 25 years since his young brother died and he's dedicated his goal. Do personal issues like that, can they be motivating factors for players, and do players carry on?
Jack is an incredible human being in terms of gestures and for the other people. He's incredibly generous. Something wrong would happen is, for himself, but not for the other ones. He's incredibly generous. So I didn't know that. So I know I can imagine how tough, it can be with mom and dad, his sister, and all the family. So, and it's good, in this day, remember him, and I'm pretty sure they remember every single day, but scoring a goal, make a good game, so it's good.
We talked to you a lot about Grealish, but you have to make decisions, but there is a lot of goodwill for him.
Yeah, of course. Score, have another chance. I know he likes to play in the middle as a guy who used to play free, but you have some patterns, and he's most comfortable playing in the side. At the side there are elite contenders, but of course I have had the feeling that between the lines always his ability, to control the ball, to have an extra pass. It was not rewarding, incredible penalty in the beginning of the second half. But happy for him. I know it's not easy when you don't play quite regularly. Against the Plymouth last game in the FA Cup, he played really good, much better than today, I would say. More in the position, we're more aggressive. But it's not easy for the strikers, the people up front in the middle, how Leicester today they defend. We expect a little bit more aggressive in terms of the game against Chelsea. United, they were so aggressive and man-to-man, didn't happen today. And it's not easy for the people who play in the middle when they defend low, but low block and defending the space. We missed just the third goal. The rest was really good. With the third goal, we can be easy. Maybe we could have scored more. But the 2-0 always, for the experiences that we have this season, that many times we are from a 2-0, concede a goal, and after we lost many, many points, the game was not over. That's why the substitution was a little bit late.
Can I ask about the return of Oscar Bob? I know it's been a long time coming. We were, I think, expecting him back in the new year. Why has it taken so long to get him on the pitch? But obviously also, how important is it for him potentially for the rest of the season?
It was so long because injury did not recover that we expected, and it's a long time. So before the first game in Chelsea away, the first Premier League game, was unfortunately injured, and it was long. But I'm pretty sure he cannot forget the warmth. For our people, it's really nice, and Oscar is a top talent player in his pressing and rhythm. Unfortunately, now we are in a period that maybe takes some minutes, is difficult, but we are really pleased he's back and play a few minutes. I wouldn't expect to put him earlier, but as I said before, with 2-0 still the game was not over, and I decide later.
Hi Pep, I know you said it was obviously difficult for the forwards with the way that Leicester were defending, but is there not an element of the forwards, they had so many chances to shoot and maybe not so decisive, and that's obviously been a case this season. There's not been many goals from them, and without Erling they are going to need to make a step forward now.
Yeah, but they have to do it now with Erling for 5-6 weeks out or more, or even more. Of course they need it, and you're right. Maybe there are actions that you have to take and do it, but maybe step by step we will do it, and that we create, and unfortunately Savio have chances to shoot, didn't happen, and Nico as well, but in general the control was really good, except one action at the end with Nico lose the ball, and we didn't concede anything, and I think we create enough to win for higher margin.
Any more guys? Martin?
Hi Pep. Erling went to Barcelona to see Dr. Kugat, I think. Is it pretty much as you thought, or is there any sort of change?
Yes, we decided, we knew it, and we saw it to make a treatment there, and with respect, so 5-6 weeks.
Okay.
Good night to everyone. It's freezing today, right? Huh?
Barcelona weather.
It was cold, huh?
Barcelona weather.
No. No shot.
Hi, Ruud. First place to start, obviously disappointing night in terms of a result. What did you make of the way your players acquitted themselves tonight?
Yeah, of course. I think the form that we're in, the sequence of games that we're in, if you have a start of a game like this, it's not only hard in any situation, but especially in the situation that we're in, it makes it extra hard. Of course, you come in with positives after a long break, after a good couple of weeks of training. Of course, you want away at City. You want to have a good start. Get through the first 10-15 minutes where they come for us and at us. But of course, with their own ball loss in midfield, with the turnover, and of course communication between keeper and centre back for the second, then you're within, before the half hour we're 2-0 down. And it's going to be a long night. Looking for more goals, looking like, okay, they're coming and more chances. So we had to really fight to go in with a 2-0 result at half time. So that made it very difficult for us.
Because of the position, at what point do you have to accept that going down looks very likely? Is that this point?
Yeah, of course. We live in reality. We know what the situation is in the table, points-wise, 12 points with 8 games to play. Mathematically, as I said before, it's not over, and we have the responsibility to keep going, and there's no other way than doing that.
Ruud, how do you motivate yourself? Because you, in your career, your playing career, you've never experienced anything like this. Most of the players, although some were relegated 2 years ago, even this kind of form wasn't. How do you retain motivation?
Yeah, I think it has something to do with your personal pride and honor by doing the job as good as you can in any circumstance. That is my drive, and that's how I get up every morning. And that demands character, resilience in dealing with the situation that you're in, and accepting that, accepting reality, and look in the mirror, and go back to the players and staff to do better, and get the best out of people around you. That is how I try to do it.
Hi, Ruud. Just 2 shots today, I think it went down. Do you feel like this system is going to work eventually in terms of getting that goal and creating more in attack?
Yeah, you have to look at a bigger picture, of course, of the season. Not only this system that we used 3 games. I don't think you can take it into the discussion of a system or not. We've tried different options in different moments with tweaks in the way we played. Also the different personnel in different positions. I think overall you can take the conclusion that we struggle to score in any system. So it's something that is not down to a system, I think.
Obviously, it is 7 games in a row defeated, 7 games without a goal. What can you say to fans to make them want to keep coming back and keep coming to support your team? Because the situation does look pretty bleak.
It does. It does. As I said before on the previous question, for me the most important thing is that I stay at it and evaluate the games and be the best manager I can be within this situation with the team and with everybody at Leicester, working with this team to manage that the best way possible. That is my job, and in an extremely difficult moment that we're all in there together. And me first is I expect myself to be the first one to react in a good way, to keep working, doing the best I can with the people around me, and that's my focus at the moment.
Just check a couple of players. Harry Winks not in the squad today. Is that an injury or just a selection?
selection.
And Jamie off at half-time. Any reason behind that?
No injury. Of course, it was a game where we are defending a lot, and in a sense, you could say I was resting him. Thank you, guys.